Now the stingrays that we're playing with are southern stingrays, Daciatus americana, and you'll find them all the way up from New Jersey and right the way down to Brazil. And almost all the ones we're seeing, like Cleo here, are female. Now we can tell she's female two ways. Firstly, if we look at the base of the tail, a male stingray would have two claspers like two fingers at the base of the tail. But also the biggest male stingray is a third of her size. It is the females that get to 5 feet and 120 pounds. Now, different parts of the stingray. Little brown eyes at the front. The holes behind the eyes are called spiracles. That's how she breathes. She's drawing water in through the spiracle and out through the gills underneath. That lets her breathe when she's lying flat in the sand. Here's the ridges of spines I told you about. Here's the tail, and there's the barb. Literally just that black point. Now, as I was saying, the sting of a stingray is a purely defensive weapon. When she goes to sleep, she shuffles down into the sand, and a shark would sneak up behind her where it can't be seen and try and drive her down into the sand to eat her. If that happens, all she can do to save her life is arch her body like that, bringing up the tail and the barb. But she doesn't flick it, she doesn't fire it. She literally curls into a ball, arching her body, and it is the weight of the shark coming down onto the barb that makes the wound. So nobody has ever been attacked by a shark. So I hear you think, what happened to Steve Irwin? What happened to the crocodile hunter? Now, this is a wild stingray. There's never been a net or a pen here to keep her here. She's here because she chooses to be. But as you can see, she's also spent every day of her life being handled. She'll just sit in my hands and go to sleep. But if I'm scuba diving elsewhere in Grand Cayman and I try and approach a wild stingray, woo, it will flee from me. I'm scary, I'm noisy to it. Now, Steve Irwin was down in Australia trying to film a completely wild bull ray. But the bull ray was just asleep on the sand minding its own business. And then something wakes it up. And there's Steve Irwin's cameraman right there in its face. So the poor stingray is going, ah, what's that? And then it feels this presence loom above it from behind like a predator. Of course, this time it's Steve Irwin trying to get on top of the cameras to go, oh crikey, look how big it is. But as far as the stingray is concerned, it's being attacked and does the only thing it can, which is to arch its body and bring up the tail and the barb. Now, if you get stung by a stingray, it hurts. There's a puncture wound, there's also a venom. It contains a mixture of enzymes and serotonin. So it is very painful in the body. But it's not going to kill you. You just clean it out and put hot water on it. It's a protein-based venom. Heat breaks down the proteins and you'll be fine. But, as you probably know, Steve Irwin was stung in the heart. Now, out of your whole body, your heart is about the size of your fist, and it's covered by ribs. So some extremely bad luck getting stung in the heart, combined with a bit of stupidity being on top of a wild stingray. But if he'd been stung anywhere else in his body by even 1 inch, he would still be alive today. A great loss. He was a great environmentalist, great conservationist. But as you can see, these really are beautiful, gentle creatures. Now this stingray, like many of the females, is pregnant. If you look at the abdomen, this section here, I'll try and show you. Look how rounded that is. She's got pups in there. The female rays give birth up to 2 times a year, normally to 2 pups, can be as many as 5. But these are the perfect kids, because they give birth to live young, and there's absolutely no parental care. You just wait, give birth and wave them goodbye, it's brilliant. You haven't got to put them through college, they don't crash the car, and they don't bring the wrong kind of boys home. Perfect kids. When they're born, they're 3 to 4 inches long, and she'll normally give birth over in the roots of the mangroves. That gives the pups some protection from predators until they get a bit bigger and come and join us out here. Now, does anybody have any questions?